Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Awesome Stuff Badly with me, Uncle Dr. Ernie. We are doing a special lunchtime session because I got really hungry and I took a break and ate my lunch early. That's part of the philosophy of taking breaks and eating and getting enough rest so that I can think clearly and not get stuck going down a rat hole and making more mistakes. Speaking of making mistakes, I got some wonderful feedback from Mr. Yang that the continuous integration test was failing. Now, one of the wonderful things about the modern internet is that when you push code into a repository, they will automatically do integration tests to make sure everything's running properly. And I discovered that they were running some tests that I was not running. In particular, we can look at the continuous integration server Travis, which is available to GitHub public open source projects. And it was giving an error here on the node test, which I had not run. And so I went over here and ran it in the console, and sure enough, it was failing for me too. So I'm checking out a branch in npm test to see if we can figure out why. So there's a property Rx not being set properly. So one question is, can we actually figure out where npm test is running? No, let's see if we can figure out what npm test does. It just runs the package's test script if one is provided. Which is what? Node-test.js? Could be. Let's take a look. Yes, that looks like our error message, all right. Node test beginning, node test suite failing. And that's going from .temp reactive.js. And who in the world is creating that? Okay. So that is definitely there, which is good. And not sure why there's an RXT there. Let's just open that, shall we? Sure, there's nothing else. So this is the code that we enhanced when we when we browserified everything. And the question is, where is that error creeping in? Unfortunately, I had not done it, but right, so this guy works just happily. Which is probably not in the Git repository. It's probably not going to do anything. Yeah, even if it did. Yeah, it's not in the repository. So the question is, how do we deal with this? Well, Let's see. So curiosity, does it actually auto-generate that? Probably. So let's copy .temp/reactive.js desktop/good. And then git checkout npm test. Which is fine. And diff.temp/reactive.js to this thing. That would be bad. Now let's try to. Ah, yes, there we go. Rebuild it when we rerun it, and then we can see the differences. Okay. So there's a bunch of vars. Automatically. There's our SVG test. There's this SVG element test. That looks a little suspicious. Not very much, but a little bit. It's just that should be fine. Let's see if the SVG elements, SVG tags, or SVG contents things. And that's just our extension. Let's try it without and see. Okay. That makes Node happy, but does not make me happy. Well, let's just report that to Mr. Yang. He's taking a look already. Let's see if he has any ideas. Step back to the bottom. let's just go ahead and commit this change. And do a dance here. I need to create some grunt files or gub files for this eventually. And then go back to child creation here. And I'll have my code, and then his code. And okay, build is in progress. Let's actually see if we can watch this thing through, and then we can stop the episode. It's actually exciting that you just push a button on your desktop and then some mysterious server in the sky, in this case on Travis, is taking care of all of this for you. I wonder how much of this is. Well, let's see who Blue Box is. Let's check out the sponsor link. It's the least we can do. OpenStack Summit. Okay, it's around OpenStack, which is a series of tools for, ooh, wow, this is happening in real time. Very cool. It's running everything via Grunt, of course. And installing everything from scratch, which is why this is probably going to take a little bit of time. Oh, I see. It's nice. It collapses all the lines that pass, so you don't have to worry about that. Very cool. And watching tests run is slightly more exciting than watching paint to dry, but it's actually a little bit of education that we can get here. You're making sure you're using Node, making sure you're using NPM. It's clever. It's actually grabbing the diffs and merging them in the test suite before they're merged in there. That's a really clever and useful thing. Launching Phantom.js, which is essentially a fake web browser used for the various test suites. And looks like it'll write npm test just fine. And it's running all my tests. Done. Your build exited with 0. And we're done! Yay! So I still don't know if my patch works completely, but it works a little bit, and it gives Mr. Yang something to look at while we go back and play with our SVG. So I think I will stop there and wrap up this episode and even hopefully this series on SVG munging and get on back to the Hour of Node. Thank you for hanging with me, and good.